This is for Maccabees chapter 9. Why do you delay, O tyrant? For we are ready to die rather than transgress our ancestral commandments. We are obviously putting our forefathers to shame unless we should practice ready obedience to the law and to Moses, our counselor. Tyrant and counselor of lawlessness, in your hatred for us, do not pity us more than we pity ourselves, for we consider this pity of yours, which ensures our safety through transgression of the law, to be more grievous than death itself. You are trying to terrify us by threatening us with death by torture, as though a short time ago you learned nothing from Eleazar. And if the aged men of the Hebrews, because of their religion, live piously while enduring torture, it would be even more fitting that we young men should die despising your coercive tortures, which our aged instructor also overcame. Therefore, tyrant, put us to the test. And if you take our lives because of our religion, do not suppose that you can injure us by torturing us. Excuse me. For we, through this severe suffering and endurance, shall have the prize of virtue, and shall be with God, for whom we suffer. But you, because of your bloodthirstiness toward us, will deservedly undergo from the divine justice eternal torment by fire. When they had said these things, the tyrant not only was angry, excuse me, I have water right here. I hope the house ain't on fire. I'm coughing. It's a problem with the heat. Because of your bloodthirstiness towards us, will deservedly undergo from the divine justice eternal torment by fire. When they had said these things, the tyrant was not only angry at those who are disobedient, but also was enraged at those who are ungrateful. Then, at his command, the guards brought forth the eldest, and having torn off his tunic, they bound his hands and arms with thongs on each side. When they had worn themselves out, beating him with scourges without accomplishing anything, they placed him upon the wheel. When the noble youth was stretched around this, his limbs were dislocated, and though already broken in every member, he denounced the tyrant, saying, "Most abominable tyrant, enemy of heavenly justice, savage of mind, you are mangling me in this manner, not because I am a murderer, or as one who acts impiously, but because I protect the divine law." And when the guard said, "Agree to eat, so that you may be released from these tortures," he replied, "You abominable lackey, your will is not so powerful as to strangle my reason. Cut my limbs, burn my flesh, twist my joints. Through all these tortures I will convince you that sons of the Hebrews alone are invincible where virtue is concerned." While he was saying these things, they spread fire under him, and while fanning the flames, they tightened the wheel further. The wheel was completely smeared with blood, and all the heaps of coals was being quenched by the drippings of the gore. The pieces of the flesh were falling off the axles of the machine, although the ligaments joining his bones were already severed. The courageous youth, worthy of Abraham, did not groan, but as though transformed by fire into immortality, he nobly endured the racking. "Imitate me, brothers," he said. "Do not leave your post in my struggle, or renounce our courageous brotherhood. Fight the sacred and noble battle for the religion. Thereby the just providence of our ancestors may become merciful to our nation, and take vengeance on the accursed tyrant." When he had said this, the saintly youth broke the thread of life. While all were marveling at his courageous spirit, the guards brought in the next eldest, and after fitting themselves with iron gauntlets having sharp hooks, They bound him to the torture machine and catapult. Before torturing him, they inquired if he were willing to eat, and when they heard this noble decision, these leopard-like beasts tore out his sinews with the iron hands, flayed up all his flesh to his chin, and tore away his scalp. But he steadfastly endured the agony and said, "How sweet is any kind of death for the religion of our fathers!" And to the tyrant he said, "Do you not think, you most savage tyrant, that you are being tortured more than I, as you see the arrogant design of your tyranny being defeated by our endurance for the sake of religion? I lighten my pain by the joys that come from virtue, but you suffer torture by the threats that come from impiety. You will not escape, most abominable tyrant, the judgments of the divine wrath."